like a woman. You're a woman. What the hell is disgusting?
To be honest, I was just having a bad hair day yesterday, so
And what did they say to you?
I was just basically, I need you to remove the hat because it's provoking political violence, and if I don't remove it, I'll be evicted out of the venue.
Allowed to wear a hat. I mean, I can express myself how I want.
This is not expression. This is hate speech. This is every kind of misogyny, homophobia, racism, bigotry, Islamophobia. I can go on and on. Until you take that hat off, you will not be served.
I'm not taking it off.
Well, then you will not be served in this restaurant.
You all should be ashamed of yourselves inside of a Mexican restaurant sitting here eating. You all are f***ing Nazis. Go f*** yourselves. So are you. No, I'm not. That in a restaurant, you don't think that these people have family?
They love us here. They know us well. They know us well and they love us.
I don't care.
Well, you ought to care. You ought to care. You're way out of line. You're way out of line.
It's what?
The man's got a MAGA hat on.
He's MAGA hat.
wearing a MAGA hat.
Oh my god, he's wearing a MAGA hat.
He's wearing a MAGA hat.
Panic.
Everyone panic.
What's a MAGA hat?
What's a MAGA hat? Make America great again, Donald Trump.
Who's that?
Who's Donald Trump?
No, who's got a MAGA hat?
The man in the top.
Oh.
To be honest, I was just having a bad hair day yesterday, so
And what did they say to you?
I was just basically, I need you to remove the hat because it's provoking political violence, and if I don't remove it, I'll be evicted out of the venue.
I mean, I was at the bar last night and a woman punched me in the face just for me wearing a MAGA hat. And that's just really crazy. All the vile disrespect and the hatred that I'm getting and the abuse just for wearing a hat. But see, if I had retaliated, I would have been in jail. And it's crazy how she can abuse me and nothing will happen. She almost broke my nose. And it's crazy. I didn't retaliate because I'm smart and I didn't do anything about it. But it's just so sad that I'm getting the abuse that I'm getting. And that's what's wrong with society, is that she's allowed to do that and no one will say anything. I'm in Philadelphia, but it's a blue city. And so I'm not even surprised. That's what's expected here.
Ah, what a beautiful morning. So grateful that Trump got in office. Life is going to be so much easier again.
A few moments later.
So I just got the quote from the dentist in Mexico I've been looking to go see, because no offense to my current dentist in the United States, I love him. He does a really great job and I wish I could go to him. I just can't afford dental care in the United States.
Own the libs. Are you winning yet? No, because you played yourself. These are the females who lack the spine and the courage to step into a private voting booth and vote to safeguard their own rights as women. They're so weak that they actively participate in their own downfall, allowing men to use them as tools to strip away their own rights and help strip away the rights of us all as women. This is what happens when you're gullible enough to fall for the conservative patriarchal illusion of a traditional family, where the man is supposed to be the leader, but in reality, that so-called provider is a failure, leaving you, his wife, so financially helpless that you are forced to rely on the very people that y'all demonize and cheer to be deported just to survive. Now look at you crossing the border into Mexico. Yes, the same Mexico you clutch your pearls over just to be able to afford health care. You're out here bragging about voting for Trump, yet you can't even afford to put America first under Trump. You're out here fighting for white supremacy, but white supremacy ain't fighting for you. Make it make sense. And the best part, this is just a warm-up, so buckle up because the real struggle hasn't even started yet.
Hello brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. Well, I'm hoping that you're doing great from wherever you watch me from. I'm your host and presenter Agent of Stories. Welcome to the channel. There's something that I want to talk about, something that really interests me. Remember when the United States fumbled? When I say fumbled, I'm talking about Mr. Donald Trump. The image of the United States changed, and even people outside really lost their hope in the United States and how people really viewed the United States before. There's something that is recently happening. We have those people with strongholds of Make America Great Again, and they're wearing the capes of Make America Great Again. But remember, people have a problem with Make America Great Again, not only in the United States, but even outside the United States. Places like England, all these overseas places, the United Nations, the United Kingdom, all these places. There's a scenario where I've seen people go out with this Make America Great Again out of the United States, and the things that they got, the reaction from people that they got was not nice. And this shows you how really this has also affected the faith of people outside the United States. And seeing a person wearing the cape is a symbol of betrayal. And if you are proudly walking with it out there, it shows that you are supporting the fascism that is going on in the United States. Remember, different people have an history with the United States. For example, there is a woman outside there who sent their baby or their kid to study in the United States. And now all these things that are affecting people in the United States, when you go to their country wearing the cape, knowing that you are wearing a slogan of a person who has affected their kid in some way, or some people are being deported back to their country because they lost their jobs as a result of this, and now you're coming back to that country and wearing that cape, this has a devastating effect. And people are not taking this lightly. Perfect example. You saw what happened in Mexico. People in Mexico retaliated. They retaliated against the white people who are in the United States. They were saying like, if you guys deported us, you got nothing to do with us. And they started looting their shops, breaking in their business and doing all these things. Brothers and sisters, I want us to watch this video. It is really, really, I don't know if it's educative, but it speaks volumes. And the powers of symbols that sometimes we wear, or the power of all these things that we walk out there, and we know how traumatic it has caused people. So let's watch the video. I'll be back with my thoughts at the end of it all.
Out of my bar.
Because I'm wearing a Trump hat.
Get out
Why?
of my bar.
Why?
Because you're a Trump supporter.
I know, but don't you guys want our money?
No, actually we don't.
You know this is like discrimination, right?
Oh, boo-hoo! Get out of my bar.
I wear that hat because I do love our president of the United States. He is our president. I do appreciate that, and I don't think I find anything wrong with me wanting to wear a Trump hat because he is our president.
Is everybody pissed at you right now?
Everyone's pissed at me because I wore this hat and I'm trying to make burgers great again. And I'm from Florida. I came to Newfoundland, and I don't think a lot of Newfoundlanders, can really grasp the whole machine of the media that's really going on in America. People just need to know. Put it all on Facebook. Everyone's commenting. It's kind of funny.
Think about the comments and like the people retweeting things on Twitter on different platforms, calling you a racist and a misogynist because you support a certain politician. What do you think about that?
Well, if anyone says anything online, I'm sure that they're smart enough to come actually have a conversation with me and, really think about the bigger picture here.
So you haven't really taken any concern to any of the hate comments, people telling you to go to hell or, boycott this business? That doesn't really affect you too much?
No, I'm from America. No, that doesn't affect anybody around there.
Okay.
Breaking news. The president of Mexico has stated that he will begin to deport Americans that have moved to Mexico without proper documentation, aka illegal immigrants. This comes after the president of Mexico states that he is tired of Americans gentrifying cities in Mexico. In the past 3 weeks, we have seen different events where Americans try to colonize beaches, public areas, and even salsa. While a lot of these Americans have moved to Mexico for a better life, they move there because they cannot afford to live here in the United States. So move to Mexico so they can afford a lifestyle there, but locals have raised their prices because Americans are paying in dollars while locals that are still shopping have to pay in pesos and now have to pay the equivalent of the dollar. And instead of these people moving to Mexico and bettering the economy, they're making it horrible for the people that live there, the natives. And if you already did not know, the amount of Mexicans migrating to the United States has slowed down by the 100,000 since 2019. The amount of Mexicans living in the United States leaving willingly back to Mexico has increased drastically. And while Mexicans are moving back to Mexico, a lot of Americans have been moving to Mexico for a better life. But my, how the tables have turned. What are your thoughts?
Good morning, friends. So, some of y'all cousins want to go to Mexico wearing a MAGA hat or MAGA gear? Really? If I worked in the airport, yeah, they'd be in line for some hours. Yeah, I think they'd probably have to be searched and denied entry. Not with that on. No. Nah, couldn't be me. They better be glad I don't run no airport in Mexico, because them maggots would not be getting in. Not with that gear on. No. Take it off or get out. Okay? You don't bring that hate over to somebody else's country. Are you kidding me? That is crazy. And I listen, ain't no other culture like the Mexicans, okay? Because they are some great people. The food is great. They fun, hard workers. They're human beings like everybody else. How you gonna hate on a specific country of people? It's so crazy. But if you ain't coming to my country with that mess on, couldn't be me. Lock them up, get them out, turn them around, whatever you got to do. But entry denied. Bye.
You know, the irony that Mexican citizens in Mexico City are protesting American presence in their country. What in the uno reverso? Listen, that's what happens. Don't you think that the timing of it is just ironic? You know, America starts kicking all of the Mexicans out, and then Mexicans are like, no. We want you out of here too, because you're gentrifying our city. And I love that. I love that because, yeah, you want the benefit. Because believe it or not, a lot of Americans actually live in Mexico illegally. I know, it's crazy. Wow. And so, no, they want tougher legislation on it. And yeah, they're pissed. And I love that for them. So, you fuck around and you find out, you know? So yeah. Who would have thought?
I wanted to go ahead and check into the hotel because I was tired. I'd missed my flight going back to San Antonio. I had stayed at the same hotel with a friend of mine who had booked it under her name. And the staff was great. So this morning, I was so distressed. I was going through a crisis and I needed some time to sleep because I had missed my flight because of what was going on and I had not had enough rest. So I went back to the hotel and I wanted to make my own reservation so that I could have a few hours of sleep. So when I went there, it was around maybe 7 a.m.-ish in the morning. Those two black staff members, it was a male and a female, really heavy set female with really thick lashes and like platinum blonde hair. I wore my MAGA hat. And the way those two people looked at me like they did not want to serve me, or like I had shit on my face. They looked at me, they were very unwelcoming, very uninviting. And I walked in there because I was distressful, I was tired, and I was even crying because of the situation that I was in. When I went there, the look that these two people gave me, it made me feel so uncomfortable. It really made me feel like shit. And I'm sorry, but this is the first time ever that I've worn this MAGA hat and I have felt that I was demonized.
Mexican immigrations official just deported an American content creator who was a Trump supporter and ironically had this to say about illegal immigration after the presidential elections this year.
I don't know why Latinos are so scared of Donald Trump taking office.
What's going to happen is he's going to secure the border, and there's probably going to be less immigrants coming in, which is a good thing because that's how the country is supposed to be run. You're going to have to go through a legal process.
So this content creator entered Mexico through a tourist visa, overstayed, and was recently deported by Mexican officials because she doesn't have lawful status. Ironically, she's a Trump supporter living in Mexico. Wild. You guys say that you guys need to do it the right way. You mean we need to do it the right way when we try to go up there to migrate for a better life. But you guys don't need to do it the right way when you guys come down here to live and take advantage of the lower cost of living, among many other things, right? That's what I took away from this video. This is no hate to this content creator, but I was kind of shocked to scroll down some of her videos. Initially, I just kind of wanted to understand the process. Like, damn, that's crazy to see the reverse Uno. But honestly, this is something that a lot of Mexicans have been waiting for Mexican officials to start deporting the Americans, Canadians, and foreigners. But a large part of them are Americans that come down here to take advantage of the lower cost of living and to stretch their dollars a little bit further. But they do so by circumventing our immigration processes, because a tourist visa is for 6 months only to come and be a tourist. If you come down here on this tourist visa to live and you're working and making income and you're still living on this tourist visa, you are technically not doing it the right way. In her video, she mentioned she was in the process of obtaining dual citizenship, which is great. However, you still have not done it the right way. While you were in the process of getting citizenship or legalizing yourself, you are still technically in Mexico unlawfully, which is why you were just deported. So it's just kind of crazy to see a Trump supporter preach about how this is how it's supposed to happen. You guys should just do it the right way. But when you guys come down here to our country, you guys don't do it the right way either. Food for thought.
Latina, who is a Trump supporter, got deported from Mexico back to the US, and I want to use this video to show y'all, no matter how hard you try, you will never be white. And I say that because she made videos going, oh, look, people are making too big of a deal about Trump and the deportations. He's only going after criminals. If you want to be here, you should do it the right way. Then she goes to Mexico, gets stopped by authorities while she's coming back from a concert. They check her papers and then they deport her. Now, they deported her because she overstayed her visa. I know some people are like, well, you should have done it the right way. Calm down. Let's just give her a little grace here. She's not a criminal. Sure, she has ideologies you don't agree with, but she wasn't committing any crimes. She was down in Mexico partying it up. Now, this is where the you'll never be white part comes in. There's over 1 million undocumented white people living in Mexico. They are taking advantage of the system. They're not paying taxes. They're down there just partying it up. And like advocates in Mexico have been saying, that authorities don't go after white people, they actually go after brown people. So you were racially profiled in a country that you were trying to get dual citizenship for. So if you were racially profiled in Mexico, what do you think is going to happen to you in the US when Trump comes into office? Because there are at least 500,000 white people undocumented in the US, and they're never bothered. Because I need you to remember that the immigration system was never set up to hurt white people. It was set up to hurt people of color globally. Our movements are constantly restricted, while white people are never bothered when they do the same thing we do. So as much as you say, oh, well, if you want to come to this country, you have to do it the right way. It is not about doing it the right way. It is always, the immigration system has always been about hurting black and brown people, no matter where we are in the world. So please keep thinking how you're safe now that you're in the US, back in your home country. They don't see you as a US citizen either. They want to take away your citizenship. They want to denaturalize people. So please, let's get rid of that colonized mind, because this immigration system was never made for us.
Let's listen to this gentleman's message to MAGA to stay out of his country.
Are you a MAGA follower? Please do not come to Mexico. Do not come to Cancun. Do not come to Puerto Vallarta or Acapulco. Stay in the United States. Eat your Taco Bells.
Let's see what else this Mexican gentleman has to say about MAGA visiting his country.
We already know that MAGA people hate Mexicans. We already know that you support Donald Trump, who is a really bad guy for Mexicans. They are putting our people in prisons. They are attacking our people. They are disappearing little children, separating families.
MAGA, what has this gentleman said that isn't true? Everything he said is factual. But yet, you want a vacation to Mexico. Drink your tequila, eat your burritos, enjoy their food, and enjoy their culture. My message and this gentleman's message to MAGA, stay the hell out of Mexico. Have a day.
So Trump supporters that have flipped don't get a pass from me. And I know that's not a popular opinion. A lot of people want to forgive and forget. I see all sorts of around to find out videos being posted where people are explaining how they found out and they're being embraced. And now they want to have open dialogue with everybody. So while I respect people that want to embrace them, and I'm not going to give you a hard time, I am not one of those people. Because every single one of those around and find out videos where people are converting and leaving MAGA has to do with them personally feeling the results of their vote. In other words, until it affected them personally, they were ready to vote for Trump. You see where I'm going here? Zero empathy for people around them unless it affected them. Yeah, so they can just eat it. Where's the accountability? At some point, a motherfucker has to suffer for making the mistakes that they made, don't they? How are they ever going to learn their lesson if they were like, oh, well, you know, hey, I burned down the country with my vote, but, oh, that's okay. Man, you. There's this one farm dude out there posting all sorts of shit and getting a lot of traction, right? Because he found out, he signed up for some big federal program that he wanted to participate in. And in order to do that, he had to invest and spend all sorts of money to get his farm ready to do whatever they wanted him to do. And then Trump goes and rips this shit out from under him. And now he's like, what the f-? Right? I voted for Trump. I didn't know. The thing is right now he wants to have open dialogue with people. And when people come to him and say, well, you should have known, he's like, well, I'm out in the country. We don't see the news. And anytime I saw social media, which I never do, all I see is right saying left and left saying right and everyone arguing. How am I supposed to know? I'm a farmer. I'm not a political scientist. But then out the other side of his mouth, now he wants to have an open dialogue. So he criticizes anyone questioning his decision, but he wants to have an open dialogue now. Anybody that wants to talk about this and what it merely means, let's have that chat. But if all you're going to do is attack me, you can move on. Motherfucker. Because the only reason now you give a shit and now you want to have open dialogue is because it affects you personally. You could have had all this open dialogue before you cast your vote like an idiot. And you only give a shit because you were affected. The whole current country is burning around you. Marginalized people are being attacked. And we're supposed to give a fuck about you because you were affected in your farm? No, you vote for Trump. Fuck you. We don't need your ass. Personally, I'm going after the 88 million people that didn't vote, and I'm rallying the troops around the common enemy that is that. Now in the future, after you've repented and maybe spent the next 10 years groveling, asking for forgiveness, and doing everything you can to support marginalized communities, maybe then we'll think about forgiving your stupid ass. In the meantime...
Hello brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you're doing great from wherever you're watching me from. That was really... I don't have a reaction towards this because really it shows you that people, my honest reaction, that was so satisfying to watch, see people's reaction trying to do this. And I'm so seeing also black people wearing these hats. Well, that's just what you subscribe to. But at the end of the day, I feel like the people's reaction, it shows how inwardly people are tired with the American dream. Our people are tired with Make America Great Again, when initially even America was not great for its own citizen. All the sufferings that people have been going through. And then somebody's wearing that hat, confidently walking with it out there, showing people how his life is going well, how their life is going well. Well, you as a person, you maybe are out of the United States because of the same hat and what it stands for. So I'm not trying to support violence at any point, but at the end of the day, I appreciate people that calls out all these atrocities the way they are. Honestly, this video was so satisfying. I have really nothing to, I don't have a lot to add on it, but I'll just say that truly what happened to the United States is historical, and the world will live to remember this. The United States is at its last steps. I'll say the United States is going to face a full-blown effect where fascism is taking place, and these are the last stages. And this is affecting even how the world is seeing the United States. And so it can really tell, because you can't tell me this is happening outside the United States and people are crazily don't want anything to do with Make America Great Again. So let me know what you think about this. Let me know your thoughts in regards to this. Again, I didn't have much to say about this, but I'm your host and presenter, G-Tech Stories. But until then, let me see you in my next video. Peace, love, and harmony. Salute.